Richardson had an adjustment to make in November when Valley Player of the Year Tyrese Bryson went down for the season. All of the Redbirds have stepped up. 4 players averaged double figures, and Illinois State has won 10 of 12. The Valley's hottest teams square off next. We're in St. Louis. State Farm proudly presents the Missouri Valley Conference Basketball Tournament. Tonight's final quarterfinal round game, the Drake Bulldogs against the Illinois State Redbirds. You want to be playing your best basketball in this time of the year in March, and both these teams are doing just that. Let's go down to the floor. Dan McLaughlin and Scott Highmark.
John, thank you very much, and you're exactly right. These two teams may be the 2 hottest teams right now in the Missouri Valley Conference. Illinois State, winners of 10 of their last 12. Drake pulls off the biggest upset of the year. They go to Creighton in their final game, knock off the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays would have been number 1 seeded in this tournament, but with that loss, they fall to number 2. Drake has won 4 straight. 2 very hot teams, Scotty.
Well, like you said, Dan, both these teams playing their best basketball. Drake got the big win against Creighton on Monday night, and their hot player is Luke McDonald, one of the best pure shooters in the country. He's a first-team All-Valley selection after averaging 17 points per game. He's got one of the quickest releases that you'll see in college basketball. He's deadly from beyond the arc, and for Illinois State, it's that man, Randy Rice, who's been their floor general, second in the Valley in assists, on the all-defensive team in the Missouri Valley. But really what's helped him and this Redbird team is he's really stepped up his offense these last 8 ball games.
Number 3 against number 6. It's Arch Madness. Yeah, he is suited up, but he won't play. That's Tyrese Bryson. More on that when we come back. Game 4 of the quarterfinals is up next. He is in his 6th year at Drake. Each year, this team has gotten progressively better. He was the 2001 runner-up for the Valley Coach of the Year, and this year he's done a whale of a job once again. His team is 500 overall, the number 6 seed in Arch Madness. The starting lineups are brought to you by our good friends at Bud Light. And the man you have to watch out for is a man we'll be talking about all night long. He wears number 25, Luke McDonald.
They're going to have to find him shots for sure. Averaging 17.5 points per game. They need to get him involved early.
Illinois State comes in with a mark of 16-13. They're 12-6 in the Missouri Valley Conference. They're the number 3 seed. A look at their starting lineup brought to you by Bud Light. Babakar Bojang, the newcomer of the year, the Missouri Valley Conference. Watch out for him. He runs about 6'10", and he's also a great athlete underneath and on the glass. Tom Richardson is in his 3rd season as head coach of the Redbirds. He was an assistant to Kevin Stallings for 6 seasons at Illinois State. He's only the 2nd assistant to be promoted to head coach in 30 years of Division I basketball at Illinois State. He's had to deal with a lot of injuries this year. The number 1 would be to Tyrese Bryson. 47-42 is his mark. Let's check the Chrysler keys to the game for both teams, brought to you by your local Chrysler Jeep dealer. Scotty?
Well, Dan, for Drake, they've got to execute in the half-court set offensively. They need to set screens, be patient, get Luke McDonald some shots. They need to win the battle of the boards, keep Ford and Bojang off the glass. No easy second chance points for them. Illinois State, they got a cool hand Luke. They got to force him into taking tough shots, make him work. If he's going to score 20 points, make him work for him. And they have to get a big game from Mr. Bojang. They got to get him involved. You talked about his athleticism. He'll get a lot of points off second chance opportunities and rebounds.
And those are our Chrysler keys to the game. Illinois State, as you might expect, brings a strong contingent from Normal, Illinois. A lot of fans wearing red here at the Savvis Center. Drake, this is the first time they have avoided the play-in game, and they're 6-14 in quarterfinal games in Arch Madness at the Savvis Center. We mentioned the name of Tyrese Bryson during our open. It was something to get the fans going. Tom Richardson, and for folks that follow the Valley but maybe not know the story of Bryson, Tom Richardson decided to suit up Mr. Bryson. He was the preseason player of the year. A year ago, top 3 in the Division I rankings as far as scoring is concerned. He's an outstanding talent. He's trying to get 1 more year of eligibility. He broke his wrist in game number 1 of this season, and that's the amazing thing, why Tom Richardson has been able to do such a good job. He's done it without that man Bryson.
Well, what Tom Richardson said is that at some point about halfway through the season, the seniors, including Randy Rice and Sean Jeppson and some of the other seniors, said, hey, we got to figure out how to win without him. He's not coming back this year. And I think Kirk Kanaski and his staff just about had a heart attack when they saw Tyrese Bryson come out for warm-ups. But we've been assured that he will not play. It's just to give his team, the Illinois State Redbirds, an emotional lift.
And the fans of Illinois State absolutely loved it. An overtime win for Illinois State in their final Valley game of the 2002 season. Happened this past week on Big Monday around the Valley, as Illinois State at home beat Evansville to clinch the number 3 seed, and that was in overtime. Drake in their away uniforms, blue with black trim. The Redbirds, home whites and red trim. We're just about set to go. It's Arch Madness game number 4 of the quarterfinals. We're glad you're with us as Illinois State controls the tip, and we're underway. Rice will control the basketball. Very good player, the senior leader, and they throw it away. Here comes Drake the other way. The Bulldogs, as we mentioned, 9-9 in conference play, and both these teams split in the regular season, both winning at home. Drake, by the way, and they're winning at home against Illinois State, shot 56% in that game. They'd love to do that again here tonight.
Again, shooting percentage is a function of the shots you take, and they're extremely patient on offense. They're going to wait till they get the shot they want.
Sola 3, and that's how we start this game. Andre Sola, a 6'8 junior from Ontario, Canada. 55% from the field. That's third best in the Valley. He can also shoot the 3. Alexander, a freshman, trying to answer. He can't, pulled away by Greg Danielson. Drake for another 3. They couldn't get it to fall. The miss there by McDonald.
Illinois State needs to do a good job in defensive transition. Luke McDonald likes to shoot it off the quick pass on the fast break.
Here's Jeppson left side to Bojang inside, guarded by Danielson. Missed the mark. The putback. The tip by Ford, no good, and Drake pulls it away. Luke McDonald. He was all MVC and the top scorer in the conference, averaged 18 a game. And the freshman is matched up with him. Drake throws it away. Goes back to Illinois State. Randy Rice with the basketball. To Ford, the senior. Off the glass, yes, sir.
Well, Illinois State wants to force an up-tempo basketball game. Drake's going to be content to play a half-court set, slow it down, have a game in the 50s and 60s. Illinois State is going to want to push it, has a little bit deeper bench than does Drake.
Randolph gets a pick from Danielson. 3-2, Drake with the early lead. Here is Luke McDonald. He can let her fly. And he's not shy about shooting the basketball. He wants it, calls for it. Danielson inside, misses it, gets his own rebound. A whistle and a foul. That's going to go against Bojang on a loose basketball.
Well, we knew Drake was going to make it. Intention early in the basketball game, get the ball to Greg Danielson down low, get Bojang in foul trouble. He's been foul prone as of late, so they're going to keep going to Danielson.
McDonald, boy, he's got that quick release, let her rip from 15. He's on the board with his first 2.
And he's got good bounce to his step, too. Comes across that screen. You better be right with him. All he needs is an inch.
5-2, Drake, the number 6 seed, on top of the number 3 seed. Alexander leaning in the lane. No good. Danielson had a piece of it. And Lonnie Randolph comes away with it for Drake. Sola, the lefty. Guarded by Shedrick Ford, a senior. And they'll reset the offense. Randolph out of East Chicago, Illinois, a freshman. Gets it to McDonald, only a sophomore. That's why there are high hopes of Drake, a young team. 7 on the shot clock, a 5-second call. And Ford staring at Sola.
Well, Shedrick Ford's done a nice job defensively so far in the first couple minutes, and that was the matchup that Illinois State was concerned with, because Sola will step out. We saw him knock down the 3-pointer. That's a tough matchup for Shedrick Ford, because we'll also take him down on the low post, so we'll continue to watch that matchup.
Illinois State 1 of 5 and 1 turnover to start offensively in this game. Not the kind of start that Tom Richardson wanted.
Well, we talked about the nerves that come into play here late in the season. When you know you lose, you go home. So we've seen some nerves early in the basketball games all throughout the day here, and tonight is no exception.
First team foul against Drake. They lead it 5-2. Ford and Sola, I mentioned before, were kind of jawing at each other. Now the referee steps between them and says, let's settle it down.
And Shedrick Ford likes to talk and try to get in your head a little bit.
Randy Rice with the basketball, looks inside. Here's Ford off the glass, no good. Danielson, strong rebound. He wears that mask. Been wearing it for the past 6 games, 7, including tonight. Broke his nose in practice and has to wear it.
It's kind of intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Looks like the Grim Reaper or something.
Might make him look better.
I'll tell him he said that after the game.
He runs about 230. I'll stay over here. We're just joking. Aaron Knight inbounds, a 6'4" senior out of Louisville, Kentucky, and gets it back. Sola wide open, the lefty. Yes, he's got 4.
Beautiful flex cut that time by Sola. He showed you his full arsenal. Knocked down the 3 that time, moving without the basketball, and a beautiful delivery by Randolph.
Sola has been a big reason why Drake has won 4 straight, averaging 18 points in his last 5 games. Ford got it from Rice. Rice gets it back, pushes off. Offensive will go the other way. What a start here for Drake. This is the kind of start that they needed.
Pretty good defense that time by Randolph.
Little backdoor play, the layup. Sola with 4. Drake a lead up. Final game of the night, game 4. And it's 7-2, the number 6 seed on top. Too much to do every day. We'll skip that trip to the bank because at AllegionBank.com you can handle almost all of your banking online. At AllegionBank.com, your bank's open 24 hours a day, every day. Proud to be the official bank of the Missouri Valley Conference. Allegiant Bank. Pledge to a better way of banking. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Scott Highmark, John Walters, Dan McLaughlin, glad you're with us. Illinois State, a rough start offensively. 1 field goal in their first 7 possessions. Drake a good start. Sola has 5. Here is Knight, a little fade away, no good. Danielson had a piece of it, lost it off of his hand, and back to Illinois State.
See if Illinois State can get Mr. Bojang involved down low. He hadn't had too many touches on the offensive end, and he's been playing really well as of late. So look to see if they can get the ball inside a little bit.
T.J. Weldon is checked in the game for the Bulldogs. David Newman set to check back in for Drake as well. Here's Bojang, just like you said, from 15, knocks it down, his first bucket, and it's 7 for Drake.
He showed an ability to step out. A year ago in junior college, he did not have that ability, a straight post player. Now he can knock down the 15-footer. Makes him that much tougher to guard.
15 minutes to play, first half. McDonald rushed that shot. Here's Jeppson for Illinois State, a senior, to Alexander, a freshman. Looks like he missed everything. We'll go the other way.
Pretty uncharacteristic for the freshman. Shoots it pretty well, pointing himself, saying, "My bad that time, guys." But Tom Richards has got to be a little bit concerned with their offensive futility here early in the basketball game.
Illinois State's going to pick it up full court a little bit. Green is checked in for the Redbirds. He's guarding his man, bringing it up the floor. That is David Newman, a 5'11" junior out of Des Moines, Iowa. He can shoot the 3. Transfer from Northwestern. Jeppson a steal. Jeppson right at McDonald. Jump stop with the left hand and got it off the glass.
That was a beautiful move that time by the senior. We saw Monday night, had a big game on senior night, 22 points, getting this Illinois State club fired up.
The fans rise to their feet for a second. Redbirds down by 1. Inside it goes Danielson, threw it away. The freshman has it, outlets to Jeppson. And the senior will back it up. Here is Green. He can penetrate. Strandmark inside. Offensive foul. Will go the other way, and Strandmark is not arguing one bit. Offensive will go the other way. His first personal.
Well, they're going to say flared the elbow a little bit that time. I don't think you mind the aggression. If you're Tom Richardson, yeah, you see him try to hook him that time with the elbow. You can't get away with that. See the bench reaction. Tyrese Bryson not too happy with that. He likes that type of aggression out of Strandmark. They've been trying to get him to play that hard all season long.
Yep. Newman for Drake.
Boy, they will run McDonald off a lot of screens, 4 or 5 screens every possession. That wears you down if you're a defender.
Jeppson got a hand on it, but it stays with Drake. He thought it went off the foot of a Bulldog. Instead, it stays with the men in blue. Drake is up by a point. Newman, deep 3. NBA range on that one. Strandmark picks up the miss. Jeppson inside the arc. Off the mark. A whistle and a foul. That'll go against the Bulldogs, Mike O'Neill, a senior from Lowell, Indiana.
You know, Kirk Kanaski's done such a fantastic job with this Drake Bulldog team. They only have 8 scholarships available right now, and we've talked about Andre Sola. They lost a young man named J.J. Sola at semester to academic ineligibility, and that really hurt. They're no relation to Andre, by the way, but he was averaging 12 points and 4 rebounds as well. So in order to make that run and win their last 4 ball games without him says a lot about Kirk Kanaski and his coaching staff making sure they're focused here at the end of the year.
Bojang inside, fadeaway. Knocked around, Drake has it. By the way, the Bulldogs, at this point in the game, 3 players from Des Moines, Iowa, and 3 players from the same high school, Des Moines Hoover.
There's a lot of high school basketball talent in Des Moines, and you know what? There's also a lot of good junior college ball in Iowa as well.
Danielson partially blocked and will go the other way. Green to Jeppson, not shy about it. Off the back iron, Danielson has it.
He just looks down at Alexander. They got numbers if they want it.
Newman pushing. McDonald, no good. McDonald has been quiet so far. In the first 7 minutes of this ball game, he has 2 points. Ford back in the game for Illinois State, along with Casey Reed, a junior out of Las Vegas. Chad Mazanowski is into the game as well for the Redbirds, and Tom Richardson. Minutes to play, first half. 15 on the shot clock. Alexander goes inside. This is Ford against Danielson. A whistle and a foul underneath. And that's going to go against Danielson. His first personal. Scrappiness in the Missouri Valley Conference. We've seen it here tonight. We've seen it all day long. 7-6, Drake on top.
Scholar athlete of the game is Indiana State's Jabril Conte, a senior from Bloomington, Indiana. Conte was a member of the conference's most improved team in 2001, a first-team MVC Scholar Athlete Choice in 2002. Conte has a 3.0 grade point average in recreation and sports management and averages 9 points and 8 rebounds. Academics are important to the Missouri Valley Conference. Let's salute Jabril Conte, tonight's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete of the game. And there's that Des Moines Hoover connection, Dan. Their coach, Bobby Sandquist, at Hoover High School, has to have some pride when he watches the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. 3 of his pupils on the floor at one time earlier in this game. 7-6, Drake with a lead of 1. John Walters will come your way on the Super Smokers Barbecue halftime show. Here's Alexander, a freshman. Kick it out to Green. Just inside the arc. Missed the open look. Danielson pulls it away. Danielson, by the way, had a double-double in his last appearance at the Savage Center. 11 points, 13 rebounds in the first round against Northern Iowa a year ago.
Well, he likes the Savage Center. Had a big game Monday night against Creighton. Matter of fact, he and Andre Sola combined for 41 points in that huge victory. And you got to think Bruce Weber sent some cigars or something to Kirk Kanaski after that big win to give him a share of the title. We'll have to ask Coach after the game what Coach Weber did for him. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Mazanowski and O'Neill, by the way, a double foul. 11:18 to play. 7-6 Drake. Drake has not had a field goal since 16:05.
Both teams struggling, Dan. Drake shooting 30%. Illinois State 25% here in the early going.
The Bulldogs, their last 7 possessions, 0 for 5 and a couple of turnovers. Go ahead and make it 3 turnovers in their last 8 possessions.
Well, Tom Richardson preaches help defense first and foremost, and this time off the dribble penetration, you see Mazanowski sliding over in the right place at the right time, drawing the charge, getting an extra possession. Those are the type of things that win you ball games. Mazanowski not going to score you a lot of points, but if you can do those type of things, that's winning basketball.
Jeppson the alley-oop, and it could not be handled by Mazanowski. Randolph for the Bulldogs. A 7-6 Drake lead. Let's see if they get McDonald involved once he comes back in the game.
Well, with this lineup, look for them to get Sola some touches down low. They don't have a lot of offensive firepower out here right now.
Rice almost a steal. 10 on the shot clock. The whistle underneath. That'll go against the Bulldogs. Mike O'Neill whistled for the foul, the senior. Away from the basketball.
Well, here comes Danielson and McDonald. Kirkanaski realizing he didn't have enough offensive punch that time. Got to get those guys back in the ball game.
Drake 3 of 10. Illinois State 3 of 13. O'Neill with 3 personal fouls. Not the way the senior wanted to start. For Drake, Rice trying to draw a foul. Knight pulls it away for the Bulldogs. They want to run a little bit, now pull it back. See if they get McDonald involved a little bit here, Scotty.
I'm showing actually Casey Reed guarding McDonald right now.
Randolph, yes, boy, that's a tough move.
And he's got some quickness. He was recruited and actually had offers for football scholarships at Illinois and Wisconsin. So he's a tough young kid.
Jeppson, a strong high arcing shot, no good. Bojang had a hand on it, lost it. Sola has it for Drake. Randolph, an open look for 3. No good. Under 10 minutes to play. Here is Jeppson for 3. Missed it. Bounces around. Sola, the lefty, has it for Drake.
Mr. Jeppson is not shy, is he? Nope. He will continue to put it up.
Luke McDonald. Strong to the goal for the Bulldogs. McDonald, to start this game, has had somewhat of a slow start by his standards. 1 of 4. And only 2 points. He'll go to the line. McDonald, an 86% free throw shooter.
Such an interesting story. He was homeschooled in high school through his junior year in high school, and they actually did go to a high school where he played his senior season, so he's under-recruited. I think Drake feels real fortunate to get this young man, very close to his family. I think he's enjoyed his experience at Drake, but you don't find a lot of homeschoolers making that type of impact at the Division I level.
Not at all. He's only a sophomore. Led the league in scoring. He's all Missouri Valley Conference. He averaged 18 a game, and that 86% from the charity stripe, 5th best in the conference.
73% of his points, Dan, come on 3-pointers and free throws, so you pretty much know what you're getting from Luke McDonald.
Yep. Jeppson cutting to the goal. Bojang kept it. Rice will set the offense. Just over 9 minutes to play in our first half between the Redbirds and Bulldogs. Bojang is out of control. That's a travel.
And you can sense the frustration by Illinois State and Bojang. He wants to get some touches. He's having to step out and get the basketball where he's not as comfortable.
And a timeout taken by Tom Richardson. Well, this game is brought to you by the only barbecue. John Walters standing by. Loves Super Smokers.
Our man Terry Black. Nobody does it better.
Telling stat there for Illinois State. They have been struggling. 3-point field goals. Drake is just 1 of 6 to start this game. Illinois State 0 for 1. Backdoor cut. Couldn't get it to fall. Danielson got it blocked. Got it back, put it up and in.
A nice job by Danielson. Didn't give up on the play. Sola kind of laughing that he blew that layup. Great design play by Kirkanaski out of the timeout.
Jeppson pops out. Here's Alexander. Ford. In the lane. Some contact. Offensive foul will go the other way. How about the start here for the Bulldogs?
Well, their defense has been fantastic here. Great team defense. They've been getting beat a little bit off the dribble, but all their big guys are sliding over well. Look at Danielson, the big fella, sliding over and drawing the charge. Great team effort by Drake on the defensive end. Ford not too happy with that call.
Not at all. The Drake defense, a telling story. Illinois State has missed 6 shots on their last 9 possessions and made 4 turnovers. So Drake has done a good job defensively in this game. Low scoring, to say the least. It's 13-6, Drake on top. Just over 8 minutes to play first half. Knight for the Bulldogs. Picks up his dribble. Shot clock is down to 7. Backdoor. Sola, the reverse, got it.
And what a great look by Aaron Knight with nowhere to go. Again, Andre Sola moving without the basketball, and a beautiful delivery by Aaron Knight.
Drake has 5 points off of 6 turnovers by Illinois State. Bojang, this is where he needs to get the basketball inside. He can make that, but misses there the easy 2.
He needs to make that.
Yes. And McDonald has it, gives it up. Gets it back for 3. Off the mark. Drake is 1 of 7 beyond the arc to start this game. Jeppson kicked it. Keep it alive. What a defensive effort that time. Diving for it was Randolph.
Nobody hustles more than that play right there by Lonnie Randolph.
Drake, the number 6 seed, trying to pull off the upset.
Individually, they're having great team defense, and Greg Danielson's been the key really that time. Last 2 times down the court, he's drawn a charge.
Dan McLaughlin, Scott Highmark, John Walters is also here. They'll conduct the Super Smokers Barbecue halftime show.
See if Illinois State can get Jeppson a free look at the basket.
Green will chuck it. That's not the look you want. Back to Drake.
And you can just tell Illinois State in no rhythm offensively. And Tom Richardson really getting on his guys, saying, guys, we're stagnant, we're standing around, and then shooting the basketball. We got to get some movement, we got to get some cutters, and we got to get into the seams of the defense.
15-6, Drake. They're on an 8-0 run since 10-18. Nifty little move there. There's McDonald.
Well, you got to honor his shot fake. You got to go out, and that time went for the shot fake. 1 dribble to his left and knocked it down.
11-0 run, and they're up by 12. Biggest lead of the night belongs to Drake at 12. Here's Jeppson. Good defense here by Drake. He's in the lane. Boy, that's a nice jump stop to the goal. That cuts into that run. Now it's 11-2 run, and the lead is at 10.
And we talked about getting the seams of the defense. Nice dribble penetration by Jeppson, but now Illinois State's got to stop Drake, who's getting in a good rhythm offensively.
There's 6 minutes to play, first half. Here's McDonald. Jeppson lost him. McDonald in the lane. He'll make that all day. He will make that all day, and McDonald is starting to heat it up. He's got 9.
And that's what's made him such a better player this year than he was as a freshman. He was a standstill jump shooter, that time showing the ability to put it on the floor and finish in the lane.
20-8, the Bulldogs on top. Alexander in the lane, leaning in, got it to fall.
Last 2 possessions, getting into the teeth of the defense, having some success.
Alexander, his first bucket, 10-point lead. It's 20-10. Just over 5 minutes to play in Arch Madness. A strip. Illinois State comes away with it. Here's Green. In the lane, jump stop, yes. He can do that, he can penetrate.
Well, I hate to say it, Dan, but the last 3 possessions, when they penetrated the defense, got into the teeth of the defense, they've had tremendous success.
Adam Knight in trouble. Finds McDonald. Guarded tightly by Alexander.
It's amazing how your defensive intensity picks up after you knock down some shots.
Danielson, 6 on the shot clock. And Greg Danielson draws the foul from Strandmark. And I believe that's his 2nd personal. And it is.
Strandmark trying to hold his ground against Danielson. Danielson's got him by about 20 pounds and not a whole lot of contact. Play on.
Strandmark will have a seat. 2 personal fouls. And another whistle. So our official talks it over with Sola. Had something to say to him.
He's getting pretty physical down low.
McDonald off about 5 picks. He went to the popcorn stand, then came back onto the court.
Greg Alexander is going to be one tired puppy at the end of this one.
Sola trying to find an open man. Gets it back to lefty for 3. Bang! Knocks it down from the head of the key.
How about the 6'8" big fella stepping out and knocking down the long 3?
leads all scores with 10.
Man, he is versatile. He is versatile, Dan. He can go inside out, shows us some post moves, knocks down the long three.
Honorable mention, all MVC. Jeppson lost the handle. Gives it up to Ford, to Rice, back to Jeppson. Leaning in, off the glass. Count it. 6 for Jeppson.
It was good patience that time by Illinois State. Their offensive execution been much better the last 4 trips down, and Jeppson's been real effective going to the basket, not settling for the jump shot, getting as far as he can and finishing when he gets in there.
David Bancroft back in the game for Drake. 6'9" freshman from Marshfield, Missouri.
Jon Jeppson scored over 1,000 points in his career. I don't care at what level you're playing, you score over 1,000 points, you're doing something special, right?
Welton pops out. 3:30 to play, first half. Here is Newman to McDonald. Alexander's been chasing him all night. McDonald, strong move. Couldn't get it to fall. Rice pulls it away for Illinois State.
Wow, look at that push. A little too much mustard on that pass to Bojang.
Drake was predicted to finish 7th in the conference. They finished 6th. They're trying to pull off the upset. This is the key stat of the game so far. Drake 3 of 9 beyond the three-point arc. Illinois State 0 for 2, and that's our key stat. Brought to you by Equal Sweetener.
Andre Sola with 2 of those threes for Drake, and Luke McDonald with the other.
Here is McDonald leaning in. A whistle and a foul. Bojang may have hurt himself.
Well, they just cleared out space that time for McDonald, and you don't see that a lot for Luke McDonald. You usually see him moving off screens, but that time they just ISO'd him that time, gave him some space, and we talked about his ability to put the ball on the floor, but watch him move without the basketball, coming off screens. That's where he's really effective. His teammates do a good job of finding him with the pump fake there. Showed us the full arsenal here tonight. Catching and shooting, putting the ball on the floor a little bit, going to the basket. It's tough to guard when you're two-dimensional, Dan.
Jeppson was whistled for that foul, his second personal. 3 minutes even. That means 3 minutes till the Super Smokers Barbecue halftime show with John Walters.
See Bojang down there. Looks like they may be working on his ankle. Now he's holding his shoulder. They cannot afford him to come out of the basketball game. Came into the game with a sore wrist. They've had to wrap up quite tightly the last few games. Looks like he's in some serious pain over there.
McDonald with 11 leads all scores. He along with Sola have combined for 21 points. 25 for Drake. Newman whistled for the personal foul. That's his first.
You know what? It may be his wrist, Dan. We saw him hurt his wrist against SMS down in Springfield, and it's bothered him off and on throughout the end of the season. He is writhing in pain. Looks like they're going to wrap it up and see if they can get him back out there, but that's a shooting wrist also, so I don't know how effective he'll be when he comes back. Big blow to the Redbirds.
Green at the line for Illinois State. He has 2. Make it 3. Jeppson is their leading scorer with 6, the senior.
Illinois State Ball Club shooting 77% from the line as a team. Mr. Green shooting 86 in his own right.
How about this? In the past 4 years from the free throw line, they've shot 70% or better as a team, and as Scott mentioned, 77% this year. That's 5th best in the nation.
Well, I asked Tom Richardson why his teams have traditionally been good free throw shooting teams. He says, I recruit good shooters. It's nothing that I do.
Newman, the transfer from Northwestern, gets on the board.
And Newman is Mr. Basketball in Iowa, so this young man has some experience and certainly capable.
Green, yes, got it to fall in the lane. He can penetrate. He can do that. He's got 6.
And he gives his team a lot of quickness coming off the bench. He'll force the issue with the dribble penetration.
27-18, Bulldogs on top. They finished tied for 5th in the conference, but got the 6th seed due to the tiebreaker. And they're matched up with number 3, Illinois State. David Newman kicks it out right side. Bang! Knocked down by Drake's T.J. Welton.
Penetrating kick. Anytime you can drive, draw, and dish, that's a good basketball play, and nice penetration by David Newman that time.
Here is Ford for Illinois State. A minute and a half to play. Green crossover. Give it back to Ford. Alexander, the freshman. Green looking underneath. Hit out of bounds. And back to the men in blue. That's the Bulldogs. Drake very happy with this start. In the first half, they're up by 12.
Kirkanassie's got to be happy with their defensive intensity. They are scrambling. You see Green with the dribble penetration, but look at the defense rotate down to the baseline. David Newman rotates down, gets another possession for his Drake Bulldog basketball team, and Kirkanassie's got to be happy with the intensity, holding a pretty explosive Illinois State team to only 18 points here in the first half.
Bojang, as you just saw, back in the game for Illinois State. The teams that have already advanced to the semifinals. Southern Illinois, SMS, they'll match up tomorrow. The winner here gets Creighton. Wow. That is from the popcorn stand. McDonald. Holy smokes.
That was from the L in the Valley. Wow.
If you're guarding that, you just tip your cap.
Exactly. You pat him on the rear and say, nice shot.
Alexander answers. And those two are matched up, Alexander and McDonald.
Well, McDonald's going to go. That was a nice shot, but mine was from about 10 feet farther out.
Wow. McDonald has 14 points, and let's go back to his three. They should count this for about 5.
Watch where he takes this basketball. First, you see him moving without the basketball. Again, Alexander just running ragged. And then he steps out about 25 feet, and Alexander says, I'm not guarding you from there. And Luke says, I'm going to knock it down if you don't. Look at him smiling. That may be the longest one of the season for Luke.
McDonald with 14. He averages 18. He has a couple of threes in this game. He's 2 of 6 beyond the arc. And this year he has 88 threes at his tops in the conference. Came in with 86. And by the way, that is now 57 consecutive games he has hit a 3. And that's the highest percentage, by the way, going on right now in the nation.
Well, he's got a shot to break Corey Bradford's record of 85 consecutive threes. He's only a sophomore, so he's got a couple years to extend that streak.
Great look to Sola, couldn't finish. Drake kept it alive. Welton for 3. Off the mark, Rice will pull it away with 18 seconds to go. Play for that final shot.
Absolutely. They're going to get this last shot, see if they can get something going at the basket.
33-21. Illinois State trails. They have the basketball. We're down to 2 seconds. Rice, no good. Reed, the putback, not in time. And Drake will go in at halftime very pleased. Kurt Kanasky in his 6th season has the Bulldogs playing much better. And a big reason why is Luke McDonald. He leads all scorers with 14, a couple of threes in that first half, a couple of bombs beyond the arc. Drake trying to pull off the upset. 33-21 at the half. The Super Smokers Barbecue halftime show.
Brought to you by Pepsi, the joy of cola. You see the score on the top line, which is obviously the most important stat. But you can see how Drake got there. Better shooting, able to utilize the three-point shot, which Illinois State was not. Rebounding advantage to Drake is somewhat of a surprise. And the fast break points really keeping Illinois State in it. They've been able to score 6 points in transition. So we're at halftime. Drake trying to pull off the upset behind Luke McDonald. He has 14 points, and the Bulldogs lead it by a dozen at the break. In the game, able to score in a variety of ways. He hits the 3 here. Then off the good feed from the freshman, Lonnie Randolph, gets the layup. Sola inside and out, a weapon for Drake. But so was Luke McDonald. He heated up late in the first half, knocking down the 3 from the left side here. McDonald also able to take it to the hoop off the dribble because of the respect you have to show for that three-point shot. And that one from just a bit outside, like about 30 feet. For Illinois State, they only scored 7 points in the first 13 minutes of that first half, but then they started to heat up. Bojang hit the jumper here, and Jeppson with a nice drive to the hoop. 15 points in the last 7 minutes for the Redbirds as they were able to get back in it. But it's Drake with a 12-point lead at the half. Let's go back down to the floor. Dan McLaughlin and Scott Highmark.
John, great job on the Super Smokers Barbecue halftime show. Drake, led by McDonald. with 14. Drake is 9-1 when leading at the half. Illinois State 6-11 when trailing at half. Only 21 points for the Redbirds. Their lowest first half total since mid-December 2001. Drake with the basketball. The number 6 seed, as John told you, trying to upset the number 3 seed. John Walters, Dan McLaughlin, Scott Highmark. Great to have you with us. Jeppson for the Redbirds gives it up to Alexander. Bojang will pop out to Ford inside the arc. No good. Bojang, though, active. Alexander has it. Smart play, pulls it back out.
Yeah, Bojang's got that right hand heavily taped, so I don't know how effective he's going to be. But he can be effective kicking it out to Alexander, knocking down the 3.
Alexander with 8, his second 3, and that's how we start the second half.
Yeah, Illinois State needs to come out. First 5 minutes of this second half are going to be extremely important for them to regain their confidence on the offensive end and say, hey, guys, this is going to be a ball game.
They put Randy Rice, by the way. He's matched up with McDonald. A little different look there.
You know what? He doesn't have as much size as Alexander, but certainly he has more quickness.
Randolph, yes. And something there, Rice normally would play off his man to help. He did in that time, and the easy 2 for the layup.
Well, you can't leave McDonald, and believe me, Tom Richardson has told Randy Rice that. He'd rather give up the layup than the 3-point shot by McDonald. Alexander
To Bojang. Fade away from 10, no. He's been quiet in this game.
I'm not sure how effective he's going to be on the offensive end. As heavily wrapped as that right hand is, he can't really snap that wrist.
And he's hugging Danielson down low.
But a good shot of that wrist there. It's heavily taped. It was taped slightly before the game started. They put several layers of tape on there, and it's going to be hard for him really to extend and shoot the basketball unless he's got point-blank layups.
Easy 2. Danielson got away from Bojang. He yells at Ford, his teammate, said, you got to help me out.
I'm going to say, big fella, your wrist is hurting, but it doesn't affect your defense. You still got to bend your knees and get down and play.
You sound like a guy you used to play for named Spoon.
That's exactly how he talks, isn't it? I'm sorry.
Your foot isn't taped, is it?
Exactly. Your rockhead?
Yep. Jeppson, right side, yes, hits the 3.
There they go. 2 3-pointers in a row. Regaining their confidence. Now they need to get something going on the defensive end, create some turnovers, force the tempo a little bit. Drake, once this half-court set, kind of lulls you to sleep.
Sola trying to bank it in, couldn't. Danielson inside, muscles it up, no good. The lead has been in double figures, Scotty, for quite some time. That could be erased right here. It's at 10. Jeppson, who has 9 in this game, just hit the 3. Pulls it back to Bojang. Bojang off the glass. No good. And Sola has it for Drake.
You can tell he's just not able to finish that time. Got all the way to the basket. Ball kind of came off awkward.
.15 on the shot clock.
Drake will milk every single possession.
Thrown away. The numbers favor Illinois State here. Jeppson for 3. Stop and pop.
Here come the Redbirds, Dan. Great kick ahead that time by Randy Rice. And Jeppson, the senior, saying, I don't want my season to end.
2 threes in the second half for Jeppson. 3 total for Illinois State. Now they're only down by 7. Illinois State 12-4 the past 16 games. They've won 10 of their last 12. Tom Richardson, 3rd year as head coach at Illinois State, 1-2 in the MVC postseason tournament. And they're 6-1 against Drake all time in the postseason tourney. Second half, Illinois State 3 of 3 beyond the arc. First half, they were just 1 of 4. And the reason why now they're only down by 7. A foul against Strandmark, and that'll be number 3 against the big man.
He's confused as to why he got called for that. That's 2 questionable calls on Strandmark that time. With the trap, well, he extended his arm a little bit. Got to keep your arm straight up.
So Strandmark, his 3rd personal, the team's 2nd here in the second half. Here's McDonald. Not many touches here in the second half so far, but he can get them in bunches.
They're certainly paying attention to where Mr. McDonald is. Believe me, they had some talks at halftime about where he is and how to help off of him.
He leads all scorers with 14. He has the basketball. Guarded by Alexander. McDonald offensive. Great defense by the freshman.
I'll tell you what, that really was. And they're doing a nice job changing up who's guarding Luke McDonald. Randy Rice will guard him. Greg Alexander's guarding him. Great footwork that time by the freshman.
Illinois State, the number 3 seed, getting back into it. 3 of 3 beyond the arc in the second half. They're only down by 7. Drake with a lead of 7. In the second half, they've had 6 possessions. They've turned it over 3 times. And with those 3 times, 6 points off of those turnovers for Illinois State. College hoop fans, you can win tickets to this year's NCAA basketball tournament. Register today at participating St. Louis area Taco Bell restaurants for a chance to win 2 tickets to the 1st and 2nd rounds, March 14th and 16th, right here in St. Louis. See stores for details. Chance to cut it to 5, maybe 4. Rice inside. Baby hook got it. And the fans will come alive again. Now 8 points off of those turnovers here in the second half.
There's a large Redbird contingent here in St. Louis, and they're energizing this Redbird team. They come out of the half storming back.
This is the man you have to get going. McDonald for 3. Bang! Oh! 17 on the night.
Is that tough? He just looks right at you, right in the eyes, and freezes you and jumps up right in your face and knocks one down.
He's looking right at you.
Kind of lulls you to sleep that time. That's how you do it when you're an assassin like Luke McDonald.
That's right. McDonald whistled for the foul. That is his 2nd personal.
Tom Richardson getting all over Greg Alexander. I tell you what, he is up into Greg Alexander. Saying, son, you better get a hand up on Mr. McDonald.
Eight-point lead for Drake. Jeppson for the Redbirds of Illinois State, the number 3 seed. Ford kicks it out to Strandmark, back to Jeppson, 20 on the shot clock. He's double teamed, now they pull off, deep 3, yes! They are red hot beyond the arc. Jeppson with 15. That's 4 of 4 beyond the arc here in the second half for the Redbirds of Illinois State. Their fans on their feet.
How about Sean Jeppson? 3 for 3 here in the second half, creating his own off the dribble.
Newman, what about the 3? This time he'll take it. Yes, and he answers beyond the arc. Newman with a 3 of his own. He's got 5.
David Newman started for 2 years at Northwestern, so this guy is accustomed to playing in big arenas and big crowds and big games. So this young man's not going to be scared of stepping up big for Drake.
Alexander off the glass, right around McDonald. No help underneath. And Alexander is in double figures. He's got 10, and the pace of this game, Scott Highmark, has really picked up.
Flow is getting much, much smoother here in the second half. Both teams executing offensively.
Newman for Drake, guarded by Randy Rice.
Look at Rice, hawk the basketball. Wow.
10 on the shot clock.
On the All-Valley defensive team, and you can see why that time, giving Newman fits up top.
McDonald around his back, pump fake, up and under, off the glass, through a double team. That is nice work by just a sophomore with 19 points.
Look at that. He is showing us something here tonight. I thought, honestly, he was a standstill shooter, and he'd take it to the basket every once in a while, but he is really great for himself off the dribble.
A whistle. That'll go against Drake. Andre Sola whistle for the foul. 13 foul in the second personal. Let's go back to this man, the MVC top scorer.
Watch him clear out a side that time on Alexander. Alexander stays right with him. You see the little up and under high off the glass over the double team.
Could have been and one.
That's pretty tough to stop. Kirk Kanaski was all over the officials saying he thought it was a foul also.
He's showing us something here tonight. We knew he was good. We didn't get a chance to see Drake, Scotty, but this man, he can light it up. Green lost the handle, points to himself. He says, yeah, that's my fault. Turnover back to Drake. 45-37 field goal percentage in this half. Drake 5 of 7, Illinois State 6 of 9.
Both teams doing a nice job on the offensive end.
Three-pointers a key for Illinois State, though, in the second half, getting back in this game.
Yeah, that's the value of the three-point shot. When you got shooters, you can get back into the basketball game awfully quick in college basketball.
McDonald missed the mark. Good defense by Alexander. Here's Jeppson off a pick. He has 15 here tonight. A whistle and a foul against Newman underneath. Well, this is the 54th meeting in the series, which started back in 1974 with Illinois State owning a 36-17 lead. But, and here is the key, Drake has won 4 of the last 6 meetings, and the two teams split the season series this year.
Well, that's kind of surprising because Illinois State was the dominant team in the Missouri Valley last year and really got the better of the season so far this year. 11-6 in conference play, but Drake likes the matchup against this Illinois State team.
For whatever reason, they do match up real well. And they swept that season series a year ago.
Well, they've got a good inside presence with Sola and Danielson, and when they had J.J. Sola, that really made them tough because they had the three-headed monster down low, and Indiana State really has Bojang as kind of by himself at times, and Stramark only plays spot minutes, so they've been able to get the ball down low effectively.
Sola, the lefty. Out of bounds, stay with Drake. A furious comeback here in the second half by Illinois State. 45-37 though. Drake
by as many as 15. Right now the Bulldogs up 8 with 11:36 to go. Be sure and join us for the 2002 State Farm Missouri Valley Women's Basketball Tournament, March 7th through 9th in Springfield, Missouri. Hoops in the Heartland from the Hammond Student Center. The 2002 State Farm Missouri Valley Women's Basketball Tournament. Don't miss a minute. And Creighton has clinched the conference championship for the women, so they become the first school to win the men's and women's championship in the same year.
John, great job on the Super Smokers halftime show. That is John Walters. He'll be with you tomorrow here on Fox Sports Net. Mr. Piper and Holtis will also be here. Oh, nice move by Knight right around Reed. He got his first bucket, first 2 points, and the lead back up to double figures, as John told you. The lead has been as much as 15 for the Bulldogs. Bojang trying to answer, and he does. He can hit that little fadeaway in the lane.
Sure has. Looks like they've reduced some of the tape on his hands so he can extend and follow through on his jump shot. Looked pretty good on that one.
Bojang has 4, almost throw it away. Danielson with the basketball. He's had a nice night on the glass. 11 rebounds, and that's the 5th time he has reached double figures in the rebounding department this year.
I think they ought to make Bojang work a little bit defensively.
They do that.
And he's working hard, but I tell you what, Danielson was effective getting the ball down low, not necessarily scoring in the first half, but drawing defenders and getting open looks for his teammates. So I think it behooved the Bulldogs to get him some touches.
Behooved.
You like that?
I did.
They didn't teach you that at Vianney, did they?
No. Bigger words than that.
I won't ask why.
Yeah. Newman gets the touch off the inbound. Shot clock is down to 7. Newman with 3.
He's going to have to do something.
With 1. No good. Alexander has it. He checked in along with Rice for Illinois State and picked up the rebound, and Randy Rice has the basketball. Just over 10 minutes to play. Bojang inside, right block. Good defense there, Scotty, by Danielson. Those two have been banging. Bojang, no good. Sola had a hand on it, and it's pulled away. T.J. Welton pulled it away. What do you think, partner?
Well, I tell you what, Drake's done a nice job coming back and slowing down this Illinois State Redbird basketball team. They came out storming out of the halftime locker room, and Drake's done a nice job, kept their patience, executed offensively, and they extended their lead here to 8 points, and they're in great shape. That's what Illinois State's going to do. They're going to make runs at you, and it's just a matter of sustaining those runs, let them run their course, and being patient offensively, and you're right there in the ballgame.
The winner will get Creighton tomorrow. Off the miss, stays with Drake. It seems like every loose ball has gone in the favor of the Bulldogs.
And they're going after the ball hard. Both these teams are, but Drake a little quicker to the basketball here tonight.
McDonald in the corner to Sola, fresh 35.
You got Bojang guarding McDonald. See if he tries to get something going off the dribble.
Newman got it stripped away by an all-MVC defender. That's Mr. Rice.
What great hands by Randy Rice.
Rice in the front court to Bojang. They kick it to Ford, kick it out to Reed. Reed in the lane, leaning in. Body foul, a chance at a three-point play.
That was a great reversal of the basketball that time to Casey Reed. Casey put it on the floor 2 times, went to the basket, gets the basket and one. You'll see the ball reversal this time. Nice job by Ford, looking opposite, puts it on the floor. Danielson slides over a little bit late. We'll see if he was set as Casey Reed put it on the floor, goes by him, and he's still sliding as he jumps up in the air. They call that block. If the offensive player's in the air before the defensive guy gets set, it's a block every time.
A turnover. Bojang has it for Illinois State to Rice. Reed again. Body foul. That'll go against Drake. And that will go against Danielson. That is number 4 against Danielson.
And that is big. Who's other than Randy Rice creating the turnovers? 2 steals in a row. Gets the ball to Casey Reed. Been effective going to the basket. See the bench getting into it. Tyrese Bryson, Sean Jeppson. Tom Richardson got to be happy with the effort.
Casey Reed, a 6'7" junior, just got on the board, and now he has a chance to score the last 5 in a row in this game.
Well, they beat SMS earlier in the year, and he hit the game-winning free throws with 1 second to go. So he's been a good contributor to this Redbird basketball team.
Strandmark back in the game. Nice hand for Ford.
We see Danielson going out. 9:12 to go with 4 fouls. It'll be interesting to see how long Kirk Kanaski keeps him on the bench.
Reed with 5 straight points. The fans love it. On the Illinois State side, they're on their feet. Will they go against Bojang? Yep.
Boy, they are getting after it defensively, though, Dan. Putting a lot of pressure on the guards for Drake, making somebody other than Lonnie Randolph handle the ball. Luke McDonald not as comfortable. Aaron Knight not as comfortable handling the ball as Lonnie Randolph.
Second personal on Bojang. Lead has been cut to 3. At one point, it was up to 15. Sola. Lefty no good. Bojang skies for the rebound. A chance to tie it up with a 3. Rice penetrates. Got it blocked. Stay with Illinois State.
I like the idea, though, trying to keep this tempo going in favor of the Redbirds. Randy Rice going to force the issue. I like the penetration. You don't mind that shot.
Good look. Bojang the flush. And the fans love it. They're within 1.
Randy Rice has been the difference in this second half, creating all kinds of havoc for the Redbirds.
That'll go against Rice.
Randy Rice been fantastic here in the second half. Look at this pass. A lot of zip on that pass, and the big fella goes up and flushes it. And Kirk Kanaski not happy with their defensive set, and the crowd getting into it. The Redbirds faithful getting excited here in St. Louis.
Arch Madness at the Savage Center. Illinois State on quite a run. They're only down by 1 point. Tom Richardson has to love it. They've outscored the Bulldogs 9-0 in the last 2 30-plus.
Now they bring their shooter Jeppson back into the ball game. More offensive firepower.
Scotty, the last time it was a 1-point game was at 14-28 in the first half, and it was 7-6.
It's been a fantastic comeback, and credit Illinois State. They didn't panic. They stayed patient.
Did not look comfortable there. Sola did not look comfortable at all. The Redbirds a chance to take the lead. Their fans remain on their feet. The bench is on their feet.
Again, it's amazing when you knock down some shots how your intensity level rises to the occasion, and now the Redbird faithful getting into it. Illinois State playing with a lot of energy.
Reed almost threw it away. Here is Randy Rice under 8 minutes to play. Knocked out of bounds off the hands of Lonnie Randolph with 20 on the shot clock. We'll take a timeout. 7:52 to play. This is why we call it Arch Madness. Or go to Ticketmaster.com. Jeppson for the lead. He's got it!
How about that shot? Tom Richardson even wanted the foul. Jeppson pointing to the crowd. Does he have it going here in the second half?
Jeppson with 18. Illinois State leads it by 2. McDonald trying to answer. Paired up with Reed. McDonald lost the handle. Foul on Reed.
Reed getting after McDonald a little bit. The third Illinois State defender they've used on McDonald.
At 1 point, a 15-point lead for Drake. Now they're down by 2. A whistle, a push underneath against Illinois State. Their fans can't believe it. They wanted a walk. They didn't get it. Strandmark whistled for the foul. His 4th personal.
Watch this. Out of the timeout, they run a screen for Jeppson. Fading away from the basket, falls on the floor, and watch the bench's reaction. Look at him falling down. Tom Richardson helps him up and then goes after the officials and says, "Where was the foul?"
I love it.
This is great.
49-47. Illinois State up by 2. The free throw is good. And this is Mike O'Neal, a senior at the line, only shooting 58% from the line. Does not get much clock. Out of Lowell, Indiana. He's 6'10". They need some minutes off their bench. 1 of 2. Poor Kurt Kanaski. He's losing it over there.
Well, he's obviously got to be concerned because Illinois State in a tremendous rhythm offensively. Drake's got to get some stops, and then they need to convert on the other end. But the way Jeppson and Rice and the rest of the Illinois State team's going right now, it's going to be tough.
Here is Ford to Jeppson. 10 on the shot clock. Bojang inside. Turnaround. Yes.
Boy, are they sharp offensively. They're whipping the ball around the horn, reversing the basketball, getting it down in the paint and converting.
51-48. This is exactly what we saw the other night, Monday night, in a game they forced to overtime. McDonald, boy, that's a nice play. Fakes out 2 defenders with the pump fake. He's got 21.
Well, we've talked about you got to honor the shot, so you got to get out there and contest, and smart enough to put the ball on the floor.
Illinois State the other night on senior night got off to the real slow start. It took them a while to get going, and just like here tonight against Drake, slow start, but now they're in their rhythm.
Well, they've been a second-half team all season long, and for whatever reason, they come out of the locker room fired up, and Tom Richardson made the appropriate adjustments. At the end of the day, you got to put the ball in the hole, and they've certainly done that.
Jeppson falling away, no good, and Drake has a chance to reclaim the lead, down by 1. Just under 6 minutes to play.
Shedrick Ford's done a really nice job on Andre Sola here in the second half. Sola had the 10 points in the first half, and Ford's just been shadowing him wherever he goes here.
Shot clock is winding down. McDonald for 3. Bang! Rattles home! He's got 24.
That's the quick release we were talking about. Casey Reed right there, just not up on him quick enough, and man, is he a quick shooter.
The release is unreal. 3-point field goal, second half. Drake 3 of 5. Illinois State is perfect. 5 of 5. Double team here on Ford. He'll bring it out beyond the arc. Rice head of the key. An open look. Off the mark. And pulled away by Drake. Solo is in there, who has been quiet here in the second half. Drake up by 2 on top of Illinois State. The winner advances to the semifinals against Creighton. We know what Drake can do against Creighton.
We saw it Monday night, stun the Blue Jays in Omaha to give Southern a piece of the Valley Championship.
Jeppson pulls it away for Illinois State. That's not the shot they wanted from Randolph.
And I think right now, if I'm Drake, option 1, 2, and 3 is Luke McDonald, Luke McDonald, Luke McDonald.
Bojang is fouled underneath. Good entry pass. The 6'10" Mike O'Neal caught him. And Bojang will go to the line. A 73% free throw shooter. And that's the 4th personal foul on O'Neal. Therese Bryson smiled so far.
Imagine how good this Illinois State team would be if he were on the roster actively playing. They were the preseason pick. And you can see why they would be the pick to win the Valley. If they had that guy right there who's averaged 23 points per game as a junior, how potent would this team be?
And partner, it took a while for Tom Richardson to get to his crew and say there is life after Therese Bryson.
You know, they had a team meeting and he told his seniors, what do you want your legacy to be? And he looked at guys like Jeppson, like Randy Rice, like Shedrick Ford, and say, guys, he's not coming back. So you got to determine whether or not you want to be known as the team that couldn't get it done without Tyrese Bryce, and you're going to make the best of it. And they certainly have done that.
53 all. Drake in Illinois State. McDonald, good look to O'Neal. Inside, a shuffle of the feet will go the other way.
Luke McDonald frustrated with this big fella. All he needed to do was go up quickly without dribbling the basketball and gets the turnover. And Luke McDonald's added that dimension to his game, trying to make his teammates better, but at times he gets frustrated because they're not used to making those type of plays.
Just over 4 minutes to play. 53 all.
Don't leave that guy.
Jeppson for the lead. You got it.
Saw that one coming.
He looked around. He couldn't believe how wide open he was.
Usually you miss those.
Jeppson with 21. McDonald with 24 on the flip side. Randolph answers.
A little tit for tat. Both teams stroking the 3. Lonnie Randolph giving him a little offensive production. We got a 3-minute ball game, partner.
Yep. 56 all. Winner gets Creighton. We know SMS and Southern Illinois will play each other tomorrow. That should be a fantastic game. The senior Jeppson is saying, I do not want my career to end tonight. And he's showing us why. Wide open, knocked it down. He's got 21. 6, the timeouts even on the 60s. Illinois State with one more 30. The fouls even at 7. Possession arrow favors Illinois State. Scotty, to follow up with what you were talking about with McDonald. He went on a drought of 6 minutes 30 seconds without scoring. In that time, a 14-3 run for Illinois State. Then they get him back in the flow. They come back and take the lead as he scores a couple of buckets.
He's Mr. Everything for this Drake Bulldog basketball team. They need to continue to keep him involved on the offensive end.
Alexander got it stripped with the shot clock down at 8. So the Bulldogs have it back and a chance with under 3 minutes to play to regain the lead. At one point up by 15 off of Bojang, stays with Drake. 2:52 to play.
Just get the feeling that every possession is precious here in the last 3 minutes of the ball game. They got to take advantage of every opportunity and value the basketball on both ends.
Lonnie Randolph to McDonald, right around Alexander to the goal. Yes, laid it up and in. Kurt Kanaski, the head coach, wanted a blocking foul, a chance at a 3-point play. He didn't get it. McDonald with 26.
Their star is stepping up. He's doing his part, Danny.
Jeppson thought about it. He can feel it. He's got a little confidence.
He wanted that, but he'd be best served just to get his points in the offense.
15 on the shot clock. Rice to Bojang. Lost the handle. Danielson has it. A chance to add to the lead. 2 minutes to play. Oh, nice look. What a good look to recognize there by Randolph. Drake has a lead of 4. That's a great look.
It was a great look by Lonnie Randolph because he knew that Shedrick Ford was going to jump out and double team Luke McDonald coming off the screen. He anticipated that. Watch this. McDonald coming off the screen. He threw it before McDonald had even come off the screen because he knew Ford was going to cheat out. We'll see Luke McDonald just clearing out some space, going one-on-one. He's shown an ability all night to get to the basket and finish. Coach Kanaski wanted the bucket and one, but he's awfully happy with this team's production.
In possessions for Illinois State, Scotty, turnovers. They have meant 4 points for Drake off those turnovers. What happens here? Lead is 4 for the Bulldogs. Alexander, the freshman, rattles in and out. Ford, big rebound. Got it stripped, and a foul. That'll go against Andre Sola. His third. Shedrick Ford, a senior for Illinois State out of Macon, Georgia. Very good free throw shooter, especially down the stretch. Came into senior night on Monday, hitting 58 of his last 68, shooting close to 80% on the year. Some anxious moments for the Redbirds and Tyrese Bryson.
You've got plenty of time with 1:37, only down a bucket. You don't need to foul, you just need to get some stops.
A little different look as they pick it up full court defensively, trying to trap here. Last place they want to go is the corner, but that's where McDonald is, and he calls a timeout. Randolph got it across the timeline, Scotty, but the last place you want to go is that corner.
That deep corner, nice timeout by Luke McDonald. Good recognition, nice effort on the defensive end by Illinois State.
Too much to do every day? Skip that trip to the bank, because at AllegiantBank.com you can handle almost all of your banking online. At AllegiantBank.com, your bank's open 24 hours a day, every day. Proud to be the official bank of the Missouri Valley Conference. Allegiant Bank, pledged to a better way of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. John Walters, Scott Highmark, my name is Dan McLaughlin, and this is Arch Madness. Game 4 of 4 on the day, and Drake trying to advance into the Final Four of the MVC postseason tournament. We know Southern Illinois, the #1 seed, is in. SMS has advanced. Creighton has advanced. Who will advance in this final quarterfinal action?
I think Drake might want to run Luke McDonald off the screen. They've been pretty successful all night doing that. Look for him to get at least a touch.
He's open, forces it, doesn't matter, drains another 3. Oh!
You gotta be kidding me. What a great find along the baseline by Lonnie Randolph. I didn't think McDonald was going to shoot it. Just rose up and shot it as he's been doing all night long.
29 for the sophomore McDonald. Jeppson wants to answer, has Rice underneath. Here's the freshman. Bang! He answers. It's Alexander of Illinois State. Oh, this has been fun. Bulldogs by a deuce.
Doesn't get any better than this. Illinois State calling the timeout. They're going to set up the full court pressure. And believe me, Tom Richardson saying, guys, we're not going to leave Luke McDonald from here on out. Don't even let him touch the ball.
How about the catch and the shot by McDonald?
Well, look at the recognition, the pass along the baseline. A tough catch, like you said, had to bend down to his left, catch it, and the quick release. He is fired up. Then we see the same type of play going the other way for Illinois State, and the freshman steps up and knocks down the three-pointer. Same exact play, the penetration along the baseline. Great find by Randy Rice.
And Alexander finished the 3. The bench says, yeah, we're still right in this one. Alexander with 13, Jeppson 21. Their leading scores for Illinois State. McDonald a game-high 29. He was the top scorer during the regular season in the Missouri Valley Conference. Rice is on McDonald.
Exactly. Yes. That's their best matchup. He's going to try to deny him the basketball.
Knight inside, pulls it back. 20 on the shot clock. Game clock is at 40. About a difference of 21 seconds. So Illinois State needs to stop. They'll get another possession. Here's McDonald matched up with Rice. All over him. McDonald spins, lost it. It's tied up on the floor. And a timeout awarded to Illinois State.
What a great defensive effort that time by Randy Rice, and a nice tactical play by Tom Richardson. Better matchup off the dribble.
Luke McDonald's had a lot of success off the dribble. That time he puts his best defender and one of the best defenders in the league who gets him another possession.
Kurt Kanaski has lost it. He's saying, are you telling me that's not a jump ball? He wants a jump ball. Didn't get it. It's Illinois State's. They take a full timeout. They're down by 2. 27.1 seconds remaining here in this game. The winner gets Creighton. And I ask you, Scott, why not match up McDonald, who has 29 in this game, with Randy Rice, who's part of the All-NBC defense team all night long? Why not?
Well, I think they were a little worried about foul troubles, and quite honestly, I think they wanted to throw different looks at him. They took Casey Reed, who goes about 6'7". Greg Alexander guarded him most of the night, did an admirable job. Luke's just knocked down some tough shots. But when it gets down to crunch time, like right now, they're going to have Randy Rice, their best defender, guarding one of the better players in the Valley.
We even saw Bojang a couple of times.
Bojang guarded him a couple times. When you get those different looks, and it's hard to get into flow, but when Luke McDonald's got it going like he does tonight, there's nothing that's going to stop that young man.
Well, if you're Illinois State, you have the basketball. In years past, you say, Tyrese, go for it. Now you
Exactly.
can't.
Well, you got a couple options. Obviously, Jeppson's had a great second half here. Shedrick Ford's done his part. Bojang's certainly capable, but I think it's all going to come off the dribble penetration by Randy Rice. He's going to try to get something going at the basket and have to make a judgment call as to who to deliver the basketball to.
Some reasons for this second half excitement. Look at that, 10 of 16 for McDonald, game high 29, but McDonald 3 of 3 in the second half beyond the arc. And that man, Jeppson, 5 of 5 for the senior. Here we go, Illinois State down by 2. Looking for Bojang, almost off his hands, Rice saved it. Ford to the freshman, Alexander. Jeppson wants it. Why not? He's the senior. Takes it to the goal. Off the left hand. No good. And out of bounds off of Drake. Danielson had it on the baseline. He's saying, no, my head was not on that end line, but yes, sir, it was. So with 4.9 seconds left, Illinois State will have one more crack at it to tie it or win it.
Well, Danielson thought he had slid over and might have drawn another charge. Good no call by the officials. I liked that call. At this point in the game, just let him play. You see Danielson on the end line. Illinois State will get another possession. Kurt Kanaski saying, hey, guys, get out there, contest their shots. Don't get beat backdoor, no layups. Make them go to the foul line and earn it.
And if you're Illinois State,
well, you got to get something going quick at the basket. I would expect somebody like Sean Jeppson or Randy Rice to get the basketball. With 5 seconds, you don't have a lot of time to mess around. You got to catch it and get something going at the basket relatively quickly.
Drake trying to hold on and pull off the upset. Number 6, number 3. 4.9 seconds left, and another timeout is taken. A full one this time by Drake. These two teams split during the regular season, both winning on their home floors. Both have been the hottest teams, arguably, in the Valley down the stretch. Drake has won 4 straight, including a win at Creighton to knock the Blue Jays from that number 1 seed in Arch Madness. In the final night of the regular season, Illinois State has won 10 of their last 12. Let's take a look at the National Car Rental scoreboard in the Missouri Valley Conference. Number 8 against number 1. No problem for Southern Illinois. They will meet SMS, the 4 seed. They beat up on Wichita State 72-59. Northern Iowa could not handle Creighton. The Blue Jays were just methodical in that game. 80-65 was Creighton, the number 2 seed. The game of the day tomorrow could be Southern Illinois against SMS.
Well, that'll be a fun matchup, but this is definitely the game of the day here on Super Saturday. We got the best of the games here today. Danny, with 5 seconds to go, 2-point game, Illinois State with the basketball. Kurt Kanaski called a timeout because he wanted to see how they were going to set up offensively, see if Tom Richard comes out in a different set this time.
4.9 seconds left offensively. You've got plenty of time.
Got plenty of time. They look like they're going to change the set that they're in. They might even try to lob it to Bojang, but look for Randy Rice or Alexander popping out to catch. Jeppson taking the ball out of bounds. A lot of times the most dangerous guy is the guy taking it out of bounds.
Jeppson looking to inbound it, does to the freshman. 3 seconds. Jeppson, not a good look, lets her fly. Got it! Illinois State advances! three-point land in the second half. Illinois State wins it.
You gotta be kidding me, partner. Woo! Wow!
How about that?
Wow!
Points off of threes for Jeppson.
We talked about how the guy throwing it in is the most dangerous player on the court. Look at that fall away, almost on his back, going in as the buzzer sounds. And that, man, what a great second half. 6 for 6 from the three-point line.
Mom and Dad saying, yeah, one more game.
Unbelievable.
Arch madness. This is our Rawlings play of the game. Jeppson, the fall away, got it. 6 of 6 beyond the arc, and he ends it with the three. Oh!
Doesn't get any better than that. Tom Richardson drawing it up, and just a great player saying, I don't want my career to end. College basketball at its best.
So Illinois State will move on to the semifinals. They are set. 2:30 the first game tomorrow. Southern Illinois SMS Creighton will take on Illinois State, the winner here tonight. Time now to announce the Ameren UE players of the game. What a valiant effort by Drake and Luke McDonald specifically. 29 points, but the senior Jeppson, 6 of 6 beyond the arc, 24 points. Oh man, what a game. And those are our Ameren UE players of the game. Jeppson and McDonald. Illinois State lives to see another day, and that'll do it for Drake. They finished their season 14-15 overall. Illinois State improves to 17-13. The number 3 seed will advance thanks to Sean Jeppson.
Well, he was unbelievable in the second half, taking away the shot. But look at this design play. They get the ball into Alexander. He curls off the screen, creates a little bit of space. But look at 3 defenders on him, falling away on his back. It just doesn't get any better than that. Mobbed by his teammates. The players in the stands with the band in the crowd. What a fun evening. They live to see another day.
So Illinois State will take on Creighton. Southern Illinois gets SMS, the final. In our fourth and final quarterfinal game, 64-63. Jeppson, the game winner as time expires. What a season. This is fun, partner.
This is a lot of fun. This is why we call it Arch Madness. Best time of the year, Christmas and March.
That is Scott Highmark. My name is Dan McLaughlin. Thanks for being with us. John Walters, you're going to have a fun afternoon tomorrow starting at 2:30.
Well, no upsets on the day, but Drake just about pulled one off on our final quarterfinal of the night. Thanks, Dan and Scott. Great job. What a ball game. As Illinois State probably only led for a total of about 2 minutes in this whole game. They took their first lead midway through the second half, led for a couple of minutes, and then Drake regained the lead, weathered the storm with Greg Danielson out of there with 4 fouls, actually regained the lead and looked like they were in a position to win, but you've got to hand it to Sean Jeppson. As Scott said, a senior that didn't want to see his career end, hitting a fadeaway three-pointer, and Drake couldn't have defended it any better at the buzzer. So Illinois State wins a thriller, 64-63. And let's take a look at the brackets, because everything has held form in this tournament so far. The higher-seeded team has won every game. That includes the play-in games yesterday. And today, the top 4 seeds all advanced. Southern Illinois was a 22-point winner over Bradley, 66-44. Jermaine Gearman had 17 points and 5 rebounds to lead the way for the Salukis. Terrence McGee had 19 points to lead Southwest Missouri State to a 13-point win over Wichita State. So that sets up Southern Illinois and SMS in our first semifinal tomorrow afternoon. Creighton was a 15-point winner over Northern Iowa, 80-65. The Blue Jays did it with 41 bench points. They had a terrific balanced attack. Brody Derin led the way with 17.